Hi guys. Today we're gonna talk about online fraud. Uh, Last year, not in 2021, in 2020, in December, my wife and I were taken for a ride to the tune of about 40,000 rupees or about $500 when we tried to sell a piece of furniture that we no longer needed. And this was something that happened on, I think it was OLX. And as we did the whole 9 yards. We went to the police, and at the end of the day, nothing really happened. But then, I've been reading so many different instances of online fraud, and I started doing a little bit of research on the topic just to see how widespread it is. So today, I actually have a few stats, and it's amazing to me the kind of numbers, in the fraud game, especially in the online space, and why anti-fraud solutions are all the rage these days, right? And it's only going to keep increasing. So just in the year 2020, the estimated total revenue from the entire telecom industry was about 1.5 trillion dollars. Okay, and approximately 1.86% of global telecom revenues may have fallen to fraudsters. That is an insane amount of money what we're talking about. So it's approximately 28 and a half billion dollars that was actually siphoned off. And some of the major fraud categories, subscription fraud, PBX hacking, IPPBX hacking, callback schemes, abuse of network device or configuration weaknesses, and identity theft. It's insane. So these are the categories, and the top fraud schemes are international revenue share fraud, arbitrage, interconnect bypassing, through SIM boxes, domestic premium rate services, traffic pumping, and wholesale SIP trunking fraud. And so online payment frauds cost global businesses about 1.8% of their revenue. So basically, for every dollar of fraud from chargebacks, e-commerce businesses lose an additional $2.94. So interestingly enough, when you look at some of the modes that are being currently used, one is obviously advanced privacy software. This is to avoid browser IDs. It creates multiple instances of virtual machines in browser windows. That's one. The second is location spoofing. The third is calling services and phone number spoofing, impersonating buyer behavior, and enhanced customer information, where you can buy and sell device IDs and driver licenses and whatnot. The sad part is a lot of this is easily accessible on the dark web, and it's interesting where it doesn't matter what type of service that you use, whether it is an OTT based service or you're offering any services to telcos or whatever it is. The whole idea is hacking is the whole genesis of these kind of fraudulent behavior and activity. And so it's always everybody's trying to play catch up to the hackers, right? And it's not easy, and it's constantly evolving. The technologies that they use are also evolving. The amount of money that they're investing on fraudulent transactions, whatnot, is also extremely high. And you look at companies like Mastercard or all the major banking firms. I mean, they spend billions, just to try and curb some of this behavior. And just to kind of talk about the kind of money that's involved. I mean, we talked about 29 billion dollars every year, but check out some of these stats. So global brand, domestic market only, and private label credit, debit, and prepaid card purchases for goods and services generated $42 trillion of in total volume in 2020, which is just massive. And fraud losses in the card payment industry have been steady for several years as fraud fighting capabilities deployed by issuers met the challenges of criminals who deployed even more sophisticated means to compromise the system. So, like I was saying, everybody is just playing catch up to these guys, that are actually perpetrating these kind of fraudulent activities. And interestingly enough, in a lot of cases, I mean, they are state sponsored, or, they have governments, backing them. So this isn't something that you can just, continue to, take on lightly, right? So, and if you look at the total volume across the world, by the way, Visa, MasterCard, Union Pay, American Express, Discover, Diners Club, and JCB. Out of that 40 something trillion dollars, $34 trillion just came from these guys. So 81.4% of the global volume is actually just from these companies. And it's projected that over the next 10 years, the amount of losses due to fraud, it would collectively amount to about $408.5 billion. I mean, we think that, it doesn't affect us, but this does affect people, on a massive scale, especially when so many countries are finally coming online. You're going to start seeing the number of instances of identity theft increasing. You're going to see the number of instances where credit card fraud is increasing, other online transactions, so on and so on. It's only going to be on the rise. And interestingly enough is, legitimate accounts have also been taken over by criminals, and you can purchase a lot of the details, personal details about customers on the dark web. And these whole account takeovers have steadily worsened over the last 3 years. And and the other thing is, unemployment compensation funds have also made their way into the card industry. So they've put them on mobile phones for use on digital wallets. And so the way, the creativity is just amazing. And so, as you could basically see, this is a constantly evolving scenario. And everybody just ends up playing catch up to the criminal behavior, right? With the billions of dollars at stake, and billions of dollars that are being spent by the fraudsters themselves. This doesn't look like a problem that it's gonna go away 100%. It's just not. But I think by being a little bit proactive and implementing certain anti-fraud measures for that, either third party or even some of these companies that they offer, the best that you can do is try and minimize the risk of fraud. So I hope this just kind of brings some level of awareness to you guys. I know we were personally victims of this, and I can only hope that the same thing doesn't befall you all too. So be careful, especially with all your online transactions, and be safe. We'll see you in the next one.